And one more lastly, which moves me seamlessly to my next guest. Good morning, Mark, says Irene in Bognor. Woke up late. Happy to hear about the decluttering that you're going to be featuring in a few minutes. I've been longing for a day in to start exactly that. Now, after being isolated, all I have done is clear one shelf in one big cupboard. Should attempt the other shelves today. We'll listen to what your guest Julia has to say before I start. Looking forward to that. I do like your shows. Thank you, BBC Sussex. Stay safe. What would we do with you and all the wonderful heroes? Irene, that's lovely. And yet we're going to talk decluttering on the show right now. I mean, that's a big build-up, Jules Anderson. Good morning.
I am not worthy, Mark Carter. Thank you so much for having me. And that's a really great start for Irene, because what she's doing, which is really key, is she's just doing little bits at a time, just bite-sized chunks. So I think she knows already that is a really sound and smart way to do things, not to overwhelm yourself, first of all.
Well, this is a very good point. And actually, we should explain that Jules runs a business helping people to literally declutter. The business is called Sorting Out Space, SOS. It's based in Eastbourne. And I mean, we were in that situation just a few weeks ago where we said, right, this is the moment to sort our son's bedroom. And we got to that stage. It was on a Saturday afternoon, about 4:00, where literally we couldn't move out of the room. And we were all ready to kill each other. It wasn't a pleasant sight.
Well, the best advice that I could give anybody, if they're going to use this time wisely, which obviously we can't go out and do anything, we have to heed that advice and stay in the home. What can we do? Yes, we can do those jobs that we've been putting off for such a long time. Now, Mark, where you probably got into a bit of a pickle is you were probably just kind of working throughout the whole room and then maybe venturing into other rooms and trying to put things away.
Yep.
But as I was mentioning with Irene and her one shelf, if you imagine that you're looking at a room from the top, section it off into 4, so into quarters, and just do a quarter at a time. Do not allow yourself to venture off into another bit to start decluttering. Maybe the other bit to put something away, but not to start getting things out. And that's where everybody tends to find that they get into such a muddle, because the temptation is so great to kind of go through those old photographs and then go and show somebody in another room and, oh, look at that and remember this. You've got to stay focused. And it's very, very difficult because obviously, especially at the moment with everybody in their homes, you've got distractions and you've got things going on. But by doing things just a little bit at a time, I think people will find that a lot easier.
Do you have to be pretty ruthless in the sense of, and again, having done this with the kids a few weeks ago, of course, the moment you find something at the back of the cupboard, they're not interested in it, they've outgrown it, but suddenly it's the best thing that could ever be found in the cupboard.
Oh, I know, and it is really, really difficult. And of course, you're going to have those moments, and those are precious, lovely moments, but you do have to stay focused. It is really, really important just to do little things at a time. And of course, the children now, obviously, parents are learning, as you've said, they're trying to do things in the home educational-wise, because, we're all suddenly becoming teachers. But we've got to remember to have fun, to keep busy, to keep active, to keep moving around. And if you're in the kitchen, and obviously we've all been very conscious about food lately, have we got enough in our cupboards? We're going to be in lockdown. We're going to be going out less frequently to the shops. That's the advice. So go into that one kitchen cupboard or that one shelf. Get the children to help you. Get everything out of that off that one shelf. Put it on your workspace or your kitchen table. Get the children to look at the best before dates. That's helping them and it's helping you, and you're doing an activity together. And then they can get the crayons out. They can make little labels for things, like all your spices, the ones that are still in date, you can put those in a little Tupperware box. They can get creative and they can make little labels. There's lots of things that we can do together as a family.
What about in terms of the wardrobe? So if you're going through and looking at clothes, I think there used to be a rule that if you hadn't worn it for a year, that was probably a good enough guide to say, I'm not going to wear this again.
Yes, absolutely true. And I do think that's a really good guide. At this time of year anyway, with it being springtime, people are thinking about swapping the wardrobes, about getting the springtime and the summer things out, and perhaps putting the polo necks and the sort of warmer items away. And again, that is a really good exercise to do right now. Of course, it's tricky because the charity shops obviously are closed and the tips are closed. So really, if you are going to embark on decluttering, you should only really attempt to do it if you've got some space set aside, either a garage or a shed or a box room or a spare part of a room, that you can actually bag up these things that eventually, once life goes back to normal, you can then move on with these things and think about rehousing them somewhere else. It's very difficult right now, and people might not in reality be able to do this for that reason. But do think about doing really, really practical jobs in the home, keeping moving, keeping busy, keeping your mind away from what's going on outside, because we are fearful, we are frightened, but we will get through this. And if you think about something else, something practical in the home that you can all do together as a family, then you're taking yourself away from all of that, and you can remain upbeat and positive.